Hello, and welcome back to part 2 of this series where I take you on a trip to Rason. Last week I left you at lunch and with an incredible performance at the Pyongyang Cold Noodle restaurant. We will pick up where we left off, just finishing lunch and now on our way to the next stops for the day, which all seem to have a similar theme: children and schools. So we would visit 3 schools today, plus the school children's palace right in the evening.
So, as I told you, this is Rason Middle School number 1, where they bring up genius. And this is our headmaster.
안녕하십니까?
반갑습니다.
예, 반갑습니다.
So, let's visit the school. Okay? That is gymnasium.
Are they, is it a PE lesson over there? What, is it PE? Sports class or what?
They're just having sports lesson.
Okay, sports lesson.
They aren't measuring sports, but they only having
Yeah.
sports lesson.
So this is middle school number 1. We just met outside by the headmaster. I'm going to have a look around. This is a kind of crazy view that I have. In front of me is this gorgeous, gorgeous school. And the front is lined with beautiful artificial grass that's, striped dark green and light green. And then behind me we have the school looks like it cost a lot more money than the houses behind me, at least. A residential area that looks very traditional. As soon as you walk into the school, there's this image of Kim Jong-un with kids. No photos of that. Oh, now we're in a class. We listened to this kind of performance, role play, by the kids at the English class, put on for a few minutes. It was very Korean, and despite the nice British accents, it was obviously a kind of scripted play. They also did a bit in Chinese too.
Congratulations on you in the Sundong International Traders Union Camp. All of you will consolidate your knowledge through camping and grow up true sons and daughters of Upper Korea.
Wow, it's wonderful.
Oh, brilliant! Great.
This is children's palace. No, this is kingdom, real kingdom.
Oh, look up there. There are various kinds of monuments and indulgences.
Look at there is also in the swimming pool where we can swim meters.
There is rare aquarium that looks like this. There are wild animals in the zoo. Look at the parrots in Little Lane.
Okay, come on, we're going to visit cinema. Wow.
Now, so let's go to swimming pool.
Okay. Indeed, even the master and once said there is no place where there is no one was built by my Kim Jong-un, who spells out children.
We are
the happiest in the world.
At this point, whilst you're listening, I want you guys to have the image in your mind. The classroom was an average size and most of the kids were sat down. At the front, there were a group doing this role play, a group of 4 or 5 people, some guys, some girls. On the board was written the title of the role play, "We are the happiest in the world." Underneath, written in quotation marks, was role play.
Come on. Okay.
Oh no, Mr. Smith, look up there. There are so many children who look alike.
Maybe it's the other things included. All trees.
Toys?
Yeah.
Hey, it can't be true. There could be so many different.
Don't Smith. Yeah.
Oh, come on, Young.
Yeah, we are green.
Wait.
You're calling. Yes, nice to meet you. Oh, nice to meet you too. What can I help you?
This is Mr. Smith from Canada.
You are all twins, are you? What?
Young, what are you doing here? This foreigner asked me if we are triplets.
We are triplets.
I can't marry it. Only triplets are getting career.
Maybe they are not. They look different.
Yes, can take a break. Listen to me carefully. We are tourists from Rason to Oslo, a place in the country, cross country to Trinidad. We are really two countries in picture. This topic is happiness. We are going to say Chinese. 为了今天的发表，我请了两个同学，掌声邀请。今天咱们说一下对我们的幸福怎么样？
好，
你们都准备好了吗？那你先说吧。
好，我今天准备了这本，看一下这本最好看的，这本就是蒲公英文字。今天知乎金秀元帅给了我们这么好的文，所以我们很好啊，是不是？
是的。
不只是蒲公英文字，还有学生包，在你们后面看到的。敬爱的慈父金正恩元帅亲自看着这个学生包，还要把它交给宋叔叔包。
这宋书名字的意识挺深。
是啊。那你准备了什么？
我想说对我们的学生课，你们也知道，现在我们穿的学生课都好看呢。这都是亲爱的陈赫先生元帅亲自看过。
亲自看过。
这学生课都是免费，是不是？
是啊。
还有我们每年收到这么好看、这么质量高的学生课。
是啊。就这样，我们收到的爱情这么大，还有这么多的呀。
所以我们的学生在世界上最幸福的。
我们是寄宿学校的学生，我们一定会为了报答亲爱的陈赫先生元帅的爱情，认真学习。
是啊。为了伟大的祖国，
为了伟大的文明，
全力以赴。
Anyway, it was nice of them to show off their English skills before the group then got a chance to chat with the kids.
This controls the light of the camera.
How long do you learn English? Since many years? You can see yourself. Look at it. One second. Like this. You see yourself. All right. Tell me.
Everyone is just enjoying chatting, having a private chat with all the children, speaking in English or Chinese, having the opportunity to practice. It's quite nice. It's it's a good opportunity for the kids to use their foreign languages that they're learning, and a good opportunity for everyone to find out a little bit more about the school and the kids and their lives here and things like that, aside from just the role play that we walked in on, which was very interesting to say the least.
What about you? Do you play any sports? Basketball as well. Okay, that's nice. How old do you have to be to join the army? After school you want to go to the army? You have to be 18, or how old do you have to be? 18. Okay. What about you?
We then went on a tour around the school to see the different classrooms. Some interesting propaganda posters on the walls. This one is very interesting rocket on the walls. Oh. This one says Cholima, which is basically how they suggest that they will do things at great speeds. So actually now they've moved past the Cholima. It's based on a mythical horse ideology that moves at like 1,000 ri. And ri is like saying miles per hour or kilometers per hour, but they don't use that, they use ri. But now it's moved from chon, which is 10,000 actually, to 1,000, to mal, which is 10,000. So now the mythical horse moves at 10,000, not just 1,000 li. And that's what that says here. That's that mythical horse.
And what is the old poster about?
Sanshikpan. I don't know. But it has a phrase from Kim Jong-un on it at the bottom.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
And that one?
This one is Manara. Yeah. Something to do with the army. I don't understand this one. Oh, here they have like a COVID testing place too. Look at this. That would have like, oh my gosh, that you would have like put your thing through there and then had your test done. It's so intense, the COVID stuff here still.
The German word for this is like a
Tortoise, a turtle. It's
Plattschildkröte. It's like the biggest ship.
a Plattschildkröte.
The biggest turtle in the world.
Okay. And they have a seal. And what else is this? Wow. I didn't expect to see dead stuffed animals in the orphanage, but okay.
I know, it's a huge tortoise.
How do we... Yeah. A huge tortoise. There's an owl. What other kind of birds? All of these...
I have two tortoises in my garden in Germany, but they are small.
Oh. This one's seal. Seal. How do you call it? Mulge? Mulge? Oh, because it's a water dog. Mulge. Yes, mulge is water dog. It's seal. Sea dog. Yes, sea dog. Yes, mulge. That's very cute. Before we left the school, there was still time to check out the gymnasium where they were playing volleyball, and you bet some of the group joined in too. Okay, 자요! 힘내라! Oh. Out. The next stop on our school or children-themed afternoon was the orphanage. My feelings here were a little bit mixed. Obviously, an orphanage in any country is not a normal tourist site, and I did feel a little uncomfortable here, especially how everyone was filming and recording all of the children, obviously kind of without their consent as well, and getting cameras quite up into kids' faces. I just had to think, what are you going to do with this content? Are you going to upload videos of orphan children online? Anyway, I ended up standing outside and practicing my broken Korean with the other Chinese-speaking guides who were also there, taking a Chinese group. Although I did switch to Chinese once I realized that they were Chinese-speaking guides, my Chinese is definitely better than my Korean. Perhaps some subtle foreshadowing here as I say to him, we'll have many chances to meet again in the future, as I will continue to come back many times. 예, 사람이 많아요. 예, 조금 많죠. 영국 예.
대부턴 제국.
대부턴? 안내입니까? 중국 안내? 所以你会说中文？
英国人。
哦。
英国跟我们朝鲜的新世纪就是那个什么那个2000几年呢？2000年就是建那个外交关系。英国是在欧洲跟我们第一次那个合作过的那个。
没错，不错。
英国欢迎你来。
啊，谢谢谢谢谢谢
很高兴。
谢谢，我也是，以后可以常见，因为我常会来到这边。
是吗？
对，我是领队。
哦，您是领队，有缘。
We have a performance using the famous song again. It's probably our third time of hearing it this time. Let's go in and listen. Before we headed to the school children's palace, it was time to go to one last school for the day, which happened to be the high school of our guide, who was only 19 and therefore had graduated pretty recently from here. I'd been here a couple of times before and recognised the English teacher, the only familiar face I had during this trip, although he didn't really recognise me.
Okay, everybody, we are left of time, so you can have a talk with the students in short time, okay?
Small talk with the students, if you want.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Please say.
Just remember that it's nice to ask before you film them. Originally, I was focused on filming everyone whilst they chatted away, but out of the corner of my eye, I saw a group of schoolgirls peering through the window in the door. I invited them in and they eagerly rushed through and continued to speak my ear off for the next 10 minutes. They were clearly very excited to chat with us, and there was definitely a different vibe to the first school. These kids were confident and wanted me to write all my details down for them. So cute. Hi, how are you? Good. Nice to meet you. What's your name? 최송인. 일정지정부 반갑습니다. What is your name?
My name is Lee Mian.
Lee Mian. Nice to meet you, Lee. You're very beautiful. And what's your name?
My name is Lee Xiong.
Lee Yongmin. Yes, of course. Come in, please.
Our classroom.
Please come in. They're my friends. 친구. They're my friends. Yeah. This is your teacher? Yes. Okay, very nice. Oh, yes.
Can you sign for me?
Yes, I can sign for you. Don't worry. Okay.
The feeling about the Rason city or maybe Korea.
You want me to write?
Or maybe your details.
Write my details. Okay, so shall I write about myself?
Your name.
So I am Zoe.
Zoe.
Yes.
Wow.
I am from UK.
What's here?
My pen is.
Maybe.
Oh, thank you. I'm from UK. You know UK?
United Kingdom.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you know Liverpool?
Oh
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
The famous
Yeah.
football team.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, you're right.
From Liverpool
Oh yes.
with the world's best football
Team. Yes.
Okay, but I live in Taiwan.
Thailand. Yeah.
Not Thailand, Taiwan. You know Taiwan? It's placed in China. So it's in China. Chinese?
Yes.
那我们可以讲中文。哦
我叫李美燕。
哦，很可爱。那你叫什么名字？
李小恩。
李小。So next time, so I am the leader of the group.
Yes.
So I am coming here many times.
Yes.
So maybe in 2 weeks' time, after 2 weeks, we see each other again. Yes. So I'm happy to meet you again. Yes. And I'm happy if you tell me. I wrote this for you now. So if you tell me what I can bring for you next time. Do you want some like chocolate from China?
Chocolate.
One chocolate. Okay. So next time for you, I bring you chocolate. Okay. No problem. Anything else? How about ladies? Do you like something like some hair accessories or something? No, you don't like that. No, just chocolate. Just chocolate. Chocolate is good.
What ball pen or notebook?
Oh, ball pen or
And get a
notebook.
present.
Oh, yes, yes. Okay, good idea. Yes, okay. Ball pen, notebook, and chocolate. Lots of chocolate.
And your age?
Okay, you have to guess. Please guess my age.
21.
Oh, thank you.
21.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you mean you're older?
Yes, I am older, 21. 30,
35,
31. Wow. Yes, and how old are you? Oh, 17. Wow. Oh, very nice. Oh, here's Penroses. Yeah. So nice to meet all of you. And what will you do after you finish this school? You will go to university?
Of course. University.
In Pyongyang?
Oh, in Pyongyang, of course.
Oh.
Have you ever been to Pyongyang?
Many times. Yes. I have been to Pyongyang maybe 20 times.
20 What did you see there?
Oh, many things, you know. Of course, there is many big buildings and many fabulous monuments and many fabulous beautiful places and coffee shops and nice spa and big swimming pool. Oh, it's very nice. Did you go before? Really? Okay, everyone went before. Oh, very nice. What did you see in Pyongyang?
Of course, we went to Tower.
Yes, Jujin
And the
Tower.
picture of the Greek leader Julius
Yes.
on Manstay Hill.
Yes, very, very good place. Yes, of course. And anywhere else, where did you visit? Central School, Central Zoo. Oh, you see the was that tiger or elephant?
Oh, yeah. Chicken.
Ah, yes. Yes. Oh, very nice. And snake. Oh, scary. Oh. How about where else did you go in your country? Did you visit to Chilbosan?
Oh, Mount Chilbo.
Yeah.
Mount Chilbo.
Did you visit before?
Oh, of course.
Unfortunately,
Not yet. Yeah, not yet. Maybe you could visit next time. Or Wonsan? Wonsan?
Yes.
Yes, you visit? No, not yet. Next time, I take you. We go together.
Oh, have we ever Mount Baekdu?
Yes, I went one time.
One
One time. Oh, very beautiful. Maybe 6 years ago. Yes.
Spring,
Oh,
autumn.
summer, and the weather is very beautiful, but it's very cold. Yeah, very cold.
Lake
Yes.
Turn is very beautiful.
Oh, very beautiful.
As clear as crystal.
Yes, as clear as crystal, really.
Yes, we cannot have climbing with Toby.
Yes, definitely. Did you visit Mount Paektu before?
Of course.
Really? You visit? Not yet. Oh. Okay, no problem. Next time I take you with me. We go together.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
I hope. I will try. I will do my best. Yeah.
Can you introduce about your family, maybe?
Okay, so actually my family is living in UK, but I live in Taiwan. Yeah, so we live very far away. So maybe I see them once every year. Just one time. Yeah.
By plane or train?
By plane usually. And even by plane it's taking like 20 hours.
20
It's too long. So that is why just once a year I go back just one time.
I think you can use video. I mean internet.
Yes, exactly.
After this really nice chat with the kids, it was time to move on, and I feel so bad that I had promised to bring them chocolate and pens and notebooks. They were so excited, especially about the chocolate. But as most of you may know, or as some of you may have heard, Rason closed just a few days after this, but we'll get back to that later. Anyway, the kids didn't get their chocolate yet. Next up is the last stop for the day.
Children's palace consists of study rooms and theater and what? Gymnasium.
32개의 사사실들에서
And there are 32 multi-purpose study rooms.
600여 명 학생 선생님들이 자리에 힘하고 서서 있다.
Yeah, it is-
남편들이 이제
yes. And about 60 children use this place free of charge.
인터넷.
Then we can look around this palace.
Okay, you can take photos, it's okay.
학생들이
Thank you.
그 시험 기간이 돼서 시간이란 말이 그걸 알려주라고 하거나 그 소실 장관도 하고 중국이 먼저 왔으니까.
So this period, the children are preparing some kind of exam. So this moment, some kind of exam period. So you can only look around the rooms, or not children. Okay? Yes.
잠깐만 하고. 같이. 네, 같이.
There is a small probability that I zoned out and I didn't listen to anything. Could you like sum it up?
This is the school children's palace, basically, and it's it's like an extracurricular activity center and a
Okay.
place for like those specially gifted children.
7층에
Yeah, 알겠습니다. Yeah.
Let's,
And because it's exam period at the moment, we're not allowed to see the children.
Okay.
So we'll just have a wander around. Which, to be honest, I think is nice that they're respecting the children's, you know.
Yeah.
It's because when
We
think-
are enough, I think, after.
Exactly.
today.
But when you go to so many different classes and you're like, wow, we're distracting these children so much. But in the end, it's good they have a chance to speak to you in English,
Yeah, they're
right?
just having group after group because
Yeah,
I was talking
exactly.
with these guys in
Yeah.
the last classroom and they told me that it's like another tourist just
Yeah,
left.
exactly. So it's nice to hear.
Yesterday they had another tourist.
Yeah, so it's nice to hear that they're respecting the children's needs and stuff, you know. Some of the classes were open though, so we had a peek in, and for those that have followed me for a while, you may just recognize this song. 예, 다 왔습니다. 감사합니다. It was then time for the big performance at the end, which some of you may have seen in the media. Yes, this is the one, the iconic one, where you see the kids performing and rockets going off in the background. I'll leave you to enjoy the next 5 minutes of this performance before we then go to relax and sleep back at the hotel. So, end of the first full day in North Korea. And I have to say, the morning was amazing. I absolutely loved the hiking. It was really good fun. And I just got to relax quite a bit and do what I do love doing, which is hiking. And got a few good chats in with Miss Kim and Mr. Park, so that was really nice. In the afternoon, oh no, I did forget one of the best bits as well was lunch. Even though I was starving, we ended up watching a 40-minute, what's the word? Now I only have the Chinese word in my head. A 40-minute performance from the waitressing staff, who were just incredible. I mean, they're not waitressing staff, they are performers primarily, and then they are waitresses. Really, one of the best performances I've ever seen, and the most in-depth as well. Like, they literally had a program that they put out on the tables, and you could read from the program, and they had 12 different songs, I think. Really, really talented, really incredible. I genuinely got goosebumps. Like, it was not just, oh, this is North Korea, this is great, or oh, this is such a crazy performance. It was really like, this is a genuinely good performance. It was really great singers and performance. That was really good. And of course, then we had cold noodles in the afternoon. Mixed feelings. We visited 2 schools, the Children's Palace and the orphanage. So very full on in terms of, kids, basically. Just loads and loads. Oh my gosh. You can tell I'm tired. Just loads and loads of kids. The first school, the kids were a little bit shy at. So that's middle school number 1. We got to sit in on an English lesson, and then you can speak to the teacher and the pupils afterwards. Honestly, sitting in on the English lesson was a bit weird because it does feel like one of those times that's very curated. It was then very, very strange to hear them reenacting things in English and basically just spouting a lot of propaganda phrases in English and showing how great their country is, how amazing, through basically the different scenes that they did. It was just curated, and that's not what I'm here for. That's not what anyone's here for, but yeah, it's just a little bit dull. Yeah, I understand why they put these things on. They've got guests. For me, it's just not my thing. And the kids were a little bit shy in this school, so it took a little bit of, relaxing them. But then, we saw the rest of the school. That was fine. The orphanage was next up, though. And then we went to the other school, and the other school, my gosh. So usually when we do this, looking around classrooms, talking with the kids, I just take a step back. I let everyone else chat to them, and I check if anyone needs anything. I'm taking some videos, maybe talking to the teachers, just having a look around the corridors and the different rooms, things like that. Anyway, I'm usually taking a step back. So when we were speaking to the second school, which actually is the school where Miss Kim went to, and her cousin is still in the school now. And of course, Miss Kim's very young. She's only 19, so she wasn't in the school very long ago. So she's very good friends with the teachers, things like that. We went up to see the English classroom, and everybody went inside, introduced themselves, and then went off to talk to the classroom. And the pupils were really excited, buzzing, and I was just standing back. And then just behind me, all the classrooms have windows, like a door window. And just behind me, I was perched against this window door, and I could see this gaggle of school children trying to peer into the class, looking at me. So I, told them they should come in, and they excitedly flung the door open and just completely crowded me and started speaking to me. So that was really nice to have that school that was so excited, especially after the first one was a bit shy. The orphanage, I don't like visiting orphanages at the best of times. This one
is difficult. You know, I had such an incredible experience at an orphanage a few weeks ago. We visited one in Afghanistan that we're supporting through our tours. And they were so happy to see us. They put on this, amazing performance, and they were really engaged. And it was just lovely to spend a couple of hours there. And really to, show them our support. But also, it was just a really nice experience. And it was very pure and very real. This experience in the orphanage is, I think my main issue with it is it's an orphanage. You have to be respectful, and it's not a place that's on show for tourists. In this instance, it is, and it does feel like it is on show for tourists, but a place like that shouldn't be. The kids are there performing. They're probably doing this multiple times a day now that the tourists are coming in, and it just doesn't feel too great. And the biggest thing, I think, was the fact that everyone is just putting cameras in front of these little girls' and boys' faces. What are you going to do with that after? You're going to put videos of North Korean orphans on the internet after this? Is that what you're going to do? Like, why are people videoing it? And I think people kind of lose their sense of reality a little bit in these situations. One of the guys who's also a content creator was talking to me afterwards, and he was like, I feel a bit weird after this. It doesn't really feel right. And I'm like, to be honest, you're completely correct to feel like that, because everyone went in and you're still in North Korea mode. You're still taking videos of everything, getting the best shots. And I think it's very easy to get lost in the hype and to get lost in making videos, to get lost in making sure you have the best shots and forget where you are and what's really happening in front of you. Little orphans are performing propaganda songs, shouting about how much they love the country, things like that, and all you're doing is having a camera right up to their face. And these are orphans. And I think if you were to do that in any other country, my gosh, visit an orphanage in any other country, people would not be acting like this. And so I think when people feel a bit odd leaving the orphanage, it definitely has something to do with that. So, yeah, it's just a visit. And hopefully they get something out of it as well. But that was today. Then we got to go to the School Children's Palace. That was nice to see the performance. Again, it's a performance. Yeah, what can you do? I'm gonna go downstairs, have some tea with the gang, and have a bit of a relax. Ready for our last day tomorrow. Day 3 and our final day in North Korea, final full day. We're leaving tomorrow. And I've just seen, hold on, let me just open it again. There is a fresh blanket of snow outside. Like, it's not just frost, it is snow. I don't know if you can hear the crunching sounds as people walk past. Can you hear that? Like, I have to close that. Oh, no idea the temperature, but it is freezing cold. Gotta wrap up warm for the rest of the day. And today we're headed to the Tumengang area, the 3-country border where we'll be bordering Russia and China. We'll also be heading to Beaver Island, which in the winter is not so fun because there's no real boating and there's no seals. In the summer it's a lot more fun. It's still something to see. And then in the afternoon doing some fun things like a taekwondo demonstration. Need a warm shower now.
Our first stop for the day is the Taekwondo Hall, where, once again, we're treated to a performance. But this one was pretty cool, I have to say. The hall itself is massive and has a ping pong table, which of course we enjoyed later on too. We took our seats and watched the demonstration. Honestly, very impressive. There was breaking of boards and demonstrations of tackling each other to the ground. There was an entire 2 demonstrations which involved the girls beating up the guys too, which was nice. Afterwards, we were able to take pictures with them, and the one I ended up talking to ended up being their teacher, complete with her young son wrapped terrified to her legs. Clearly, he was very shy and not interested in talking to me at all, but his mum was much more pleasant and was very proud of the talents that she had there.
That girl just destroyed that boy. Yes. Another girl win. That was a brilliant display of girl power. That was so funny, actually. So, I really dislike getting stressed, but let me tell you, it gets stressful for me from here onwards. The drive up to the Tumengang area is where we were headed straight after the Taekwondo Hall. The Tumengang area is right in the northeast, where you can see the China and Russia borders when you're standing in North Korea. We'll visit those in a minute, but one thing about this area is that when you get closer to China and or Russia, your phone comes into signal if you happen to have roaming on. And now, as soon as I got into phone signal, I came across the very interesting news that Rason would be closing. Yep, that's right, the day when we were due to leave from Rason, which was the next day. Remember, the border is only open for 2 days a week, so when it was open the following day, it would then close, basically, for tourism, indefinitely. And I didn't get this news through our Korean colleagues, no. That would make the job far too easy. I got this news through our company WhatsApp chat that had got the news from our Korean partners. And you can imagine my confusion, upset, anger, and of course I had to try and figure this out. We had no idea what was going on. We still don't, by the way. But at that point in time, you don't know what is going on. You don't know why. You don't know what's happening. I wanted to confirm with the guides. I wanted to find out more information what was going on. Apparently, they'd only just found out like a couple of hours prior. Still, I had to question, why didn't you tell me beforehand? They probably had orders, but nevertheless, it was very frustrating to hear it through my company when I was literally standing next to the Korean colleagues. But hey, this is part of the fun of working in the business.
And then you have to kind of figure out how to deal with the situation. You know, can you talk it out? Can you figure out what the issue is? You know, we have a contract with these people. They can't just say, oh, yeah, by the way, we're stopping tours. We had, I think, about 30 or 40 people booked on our following group trip, which was supposed to be in 2 weeks' time. I was supposed to be leading that one as well. And then we obviously had, you know, fully booked tours up until pretty much July or August time to go to Rason. We were leading tours, I think, twice a month, and had all those worked out. Obviously, if you're listening to this, you may have been one of those really unlucky people to be booked onto one of those tours that now might not run. We don't know. I'm currently recording this on the 22nd of March. Maybe by the time this comes out, the borders will be open. Who knows? Fingers crossed. But by now, the borders are still closed shut, and we have no idea why. There's been a lot of speculation about this, and I don't like to speculate. I don't like to guess. I like to be as clear and as straightforward as possible. So, you know, let me kind of tell you everything that I know, but what I basically can tell you is that nobody knows, and anyone who pretends to know is just guessing. Because a lot of the time, things like this, you never end up finding out why. And I genuinely think it's going to be one of those times. I don't think we'll ever find out why Rason abruptly closed and, you know, why it reopened, hopefully. I don't think, personally, that it has anything to do with the tourists. There were some rumours going around. So there was another group with another company, and one of the guides got ill, and so they all got COVID tests, the group. So then a rumour started to circulate, oh, it's because of COVID, it's because one of the guides got tested for COVID, blah, blah, blah. I don't believe this to be true because because no one was positive. You know, if anyone was positive, if the guide was positive from the group, then, you know, maybe that could have been a situation, but nobody was. So, you know, that's, yeah, I don't think that is a contributing factor. Then other people were saying, oh, it's because of the bad press that North Korea have been getting from the content creators going in. There has definitely been some, you know, some spicy news out there about North Korea and reopening, and, you know, some awkward pictures of children standing in front of rockets and things like that. Let's be honest, it's nothing new, and North Korea's used to that. It wasn't really expecting good press, was it? Letting tourists and content creators back in and people speaking to the media. I really don't think that it is that. I think people are, once again, putting too much weight onto tourists and tourism, thinking that they're way too important. You know, as I will kind of always say, no offense, but you're not that important. And I think this stands in this situation too. I don't know why an entire country border would close to both tourism and business, by the way, to both foreign tourists and Chinese tourists, businesses, everything. I don't know why a country would close its entire border, full stop, just because some tourists were, you know, making some dumb YouTube videos. So I don't believe it's that. I believe it's probably something bigger than all of that, maybe international relations wise, or just a mix of everything as well. Maybe they just decided it's not worth it. You know, I was arguing a few months back, this time last year, I was kind of arguing, saying that, you know, North Korea may never open its borders again because of tourism. You know, the positive side, I believe, in tourism, obviously, they don't believe that it's that positive. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they saw a bit of that side as well. Who knows? But either way, one thing is pretty confirmed, is that no one knows at the moment, and probably no one will ever find out what truly happened. It will remain one of the many mysteries surrounding North Korea and North Korea tourism, because honestly, it's a very tricky industry to work in, multifaceted and tiring. So you can imagine how I felt in the country when suddenly I did feel a little bit of a pressure to try and fix this situation, to talk to our colleagues, because I was the one on the ground, to try and figure out if there was a way to push things. You know, at Koryo Tours, it's really important to not just be the pioneers in tourism, but also to, you know, open things out a little bit more. Koryo Tours have been really fundamental in opening out the country more to tourism. They've opened multiple provinces throughout the whole country, and that has been done through, you know, kind of gently pushing them over the years, and not like pushing in a bad way, just encouragement, let's say. Encouragement. And sometimes in the industry it's hard to know when to push and encourage or when it's futile. There was one time, I don't know if I can explain the situation enough, but it was very funny. I was trying to get something to work for a group trip in Pyongyang, and in order to get this thing to work, I was meeting not only, you know, with our senior guides, but the big boss of the company came to meet me in the hotel to discuss this thing that I was trying to sort out. And this is one of the worst situations I've ever had in North Korea, because I felt so looked down upon, so intimidated, to be honest. You know when you feel like someone is trying to intimidate you. The boss in the company came to the hotel and they just spoke in Korean for like half an hour, just smoking their cigarettes, sat next to me, and I knew, you know, when you can tell the vibe is not good. I could tell that something was off, but also I was kind of pissed that they were just talking in Korean next to me, and I knew that they were talking about the situation. So I basically cut in after about 20 minutes, half an hour, and was like, hey guys, can we, like, what's the situation? Talk to me. Like, let's get this resolved. And they were fuming. I remember this very clearly. The senior guide that I was with kicked my leg under the table, as if to tell me, like, shut the fuck up. Oh, can't swear in here. As if to tell me to shut up. and I was like, oh my gosh, you know, should I have just passively sat there for the next hour or so whilst they, you know, talked about God knows what. Anyway, I'm glad that I cut in, because yeah, casually being treated like that is not cool. And sometimes, especially as a lady, you have to assert yourself. So it was like I'd flicked a switch, and the manager just turned to me and is like, this is impossible. We can't do this. And he just reeled off a bunch of reasons why for the next like 2 or 3 minutes. And you know what? I was fine. I was like, you know what? If it's like a big thing, like, you know, that's fine. And anyway, we were talking it through, and I don't know what it was. I genuinely cannot put my finger down as to what it was, apart from the fact that I had already been in Korea at this point for like 30 days. Like, I was tired. I was on tour. I was run down. I was tired. And I don't know why. I think it was just because, you know, it wasn't a nice situation. Like, they were intimidating me and things like this. And I just burst into tears. I wasn't even that upset. I was like, I don't even care if this can happen or not. But anyway, I just burst into tears, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Ran to the toilet, calmed down, came back, and I swear, ladies and gentlemen, the power of a woman's tears. The vibe had changed instantly. It was all smiles. And the main guy, the manager, basically said to me, yeah, so it can happen. And I was like, what do you mean it can happen? He was like, no, it's okay. Let's do it. Okay. Anyway. Oh, all of that spiel for nothing. But if I hadn't accidentally cried, that never would have happened. And it's crazy to me. You never know what you can push and what you can't push. Like, in that situation, like, they were so angry, and it was such a dark vibe. Like, I felt really uncomfortable. I had no idea what they were saying, but I didn't feel comfortable. And I knew that they were uncomfortable. And it just, I never thought, you know, I was also fine with it not being possible. And then all of a sudden, you know, the tears flow, and suddenly it's possible somehow. Anyway, the fun of working in North Korea. So, I was a little bit stressed at this point, but life goes on. We still have to enjoy the tour in Rason, and especially now we have to enjoy it even more that it is going to be our last one. Now, this was stressful as well for another reason, because I was thinking this whole time, well, hey, I don't need to take that much photos and videos or audio because I'm going to be here in another couple of weeks. Well, Suddenly, suddenly everything became all the more important. Talking to the guides, learning more about them, making photos, videos, audio, having more drinks, having more fun, you know? Just having more fun was all the more important. So let's go and do that now. We've got a long drive ahead of us as we go up to the Tumengang area and walk around the 3-point country border, which is where we are going to now. So we have just arrived at the 3-point border where we can see China and Russia, and we're standing in the DPRK. So the 3-point border, it's about an hour away out of Rason city, so we are now in the Tumengang area. Have a look on a map. I recommend to get it out on Google Maps as you're listening to this so you can see exactly where I am, right next to the coast to the right hand side of me, and Russia north and China is about west, well, depending on which way I face. It's a very, very cold area right up north, even colder still than Rason city, which is south of where we are. We also pass another city called Songbong. And there is also the Russia Friendship House here as well. It's a nice area, actually. It's one of the nicest country borders, you know, like a 3-point viewing area that you'll find, because it has a nice pavilion and we can go and have a look, walk up the pavilion, which is what we are doing now.
He was brought in 1581 to this area.
그리고 두만강 안에 작은 섬이 있는데 그 섬을 럭돈드라고 부릅니다.
And there is an island in this area. It is called Sorokdun Island.
거기서 둔전간의 책임까지 겸하고 있었는데 부임된 이듬해인 1587년도에 그 둔전의 곡식이 잘려물자 외적들이 무리지어 달려들었다고 합니다.
And there was big harvest, harvest in that year. So foreign invaders, because of it, so they invaded this northern frontier area.
리선신 장군은 전투 유리한 지점이었던 바로 이 벙우리를 차지하고 싸웠는데 그때부터 인민들은 리선신 장군의 업적을 기념해서 당시 술훈벙이라고 부르던 벙우리 이름을 승전벙이라고 이름을 거쳐버렸다고 합니다.
So during this, we organized a big struggle and we won. And we defeated many foreign invaders and killed them. And to hand down his exploits, our people built this monument.
지금 세워져 있는 비가 리순신 장군의 6대 자손 리환웅이 1774년에 세운 비입니다.
And this monument was built by Li Hwanung, who was the 6th generation of Li Sun-sin.
그리고 눕혀져 있는 비 있습니다.
And there is another monument here.
저 비가 1791년 4월에 6대 자손 리환웅이 경흥 부사로 있으면서 후세에 떠나서 세운 비입니다. 올라와서 보세요.
And that is also built by 7th generation of Li Sun-sin. His name was Li Hwan-dong, and he also built this monument to hand down his grandfather's exploit.
For lunch, we stopped over at Pipa Island, which, funnily enough, is indeed not an island. Pipa Island, well, you can drive onto it, so let's say it's a peninsula. Nevertheless, it's a very beautiful peninsula, and it doesn't take away from its sunny kind of seaside beach vibes. Although I wouldn't be swimming in the sea here. It was absolutely freezing cold, probably the coldest I've been in a very long time, because it's also incredibly windy. We had a nice seafood lunch before enjoying the souvenir shops and a walk around the island. Although it was an extremely brisk walk because honestly, it was very freezing, and I sacrificed many fingers in order to take lots of photos and videos of here as well. So if you haven't seen those yet, do head on over to Instagram or also to the YouTube video where I show you exactly how cold it is. You can find me on Instagram and on YouTube Zoe Discovers or at Zoe Discovers NK. And this is where I am going to leave you for today. Thank you so much for listening to part 2 of this series where I take you on a tour to Rason in North Korea. Next episode will be our last episode of this final tour for a long time to Rason. Exciting things to come though, because in just a couple of weeks' time, I'm heading back to Pyongyang. But more on that next week. Actually, by the time that you're listening to this, I may just be in Pyongyang running the Pyongyang Marathon. Stay tuned for next time. Bye bye.